gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q1 FY2024 earnings conference call of Transformers and Rectifiers India Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Krishna Patel, Investor Relations at Ernst & Young. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you, Yashashri, and apologies for the delay. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the management, I am pleased to welcome you all to Transformers and Rectifiers India Limited's earnings call to discuss the Q1 FY24 financial results. Today, from the management side, we have with us Mr. Jitendra Mamtora, Chairman, and Mr. Satyen Mamtora, the Managing Director. Please note a copy of the disclosure is available in the Investor Relations section of the website as well as the stock exchange. Anything said on this call which reflects the outlook for the future or which could be construed as a forward-looking statement must be reviewed in conjunction with the risks that the company faces. Now, I shall hand over the call to the Chairman for his opening remarks. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Moderator. Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome you all to the earnings conference call of Transformers and Rectifiers Limited to discuss the company's performance during Q1, financial year 2024. We concluded our board meeting yesterday and uploaded the investor presentation on the stock exchange and website. I believe you may have got a chance to go through the same. In the larger interest of all, let me begin by providing a brief understanding on the company. I began my journey repairing and then manufacturing transformers since 1981. It has been more than 40 years in this field. Today, as I recap, I am happy to have been known in the market as a preferred solution provider for quality transformers. We are one of the few companies that manufacture high-rated value transformers, that is 220 kV, 400 kV, 765 kV, and also 1200 kV indigenously. The space dominated by limited players due to technical expertise, design customization involved, and also the restrictions of the other players to enter into this segment. Over the years, the company has continually moved up the value chain by developing expertise in designing and manufacturing transformers and rectifiers. In order to optimize the operations, we have been continuously undertaking backward integration and now we manufacture majority of the key component in-house to support the quality, timely delivery and have been able to achieve better operational efficiency. Now let me highlight the financial performance during the quarter. The consolidated revenue from operation was at 155.57 crore, a decline by 48% from 300.34 crore in Q1 financial year 2023. Q1 is usually seasonally a weak quarter as majority of the project completion takes place during the last quarter of the financial year. During the quarter, multiple factors led to decline in the revenue. There was a significant build-up of inventory. Materials were ready for dispatch, but delivery got delayed due to non-receipt of dispatch instructions from customers. Hence, we were unable to invoice those orders. In few instances, orders could not be dispatched and invoiced on account of delay in inspection from the customer side. Some of the orders were deliberately slowed down by the company where there were delayed payments by the customer. During the quarter, we have not received any amount from JEDCO, which increased its outstanding to Rs 183 crore, which impacted heavily on the deliverable of the company. All this put together had an impact on our revenue during the quarter. Now let me discuss in detail the JEDCO matter. On 13 July 2023, Gujarat Energy Transmission Corporation Corporation Limited issued a stop deal notice to the company intimating that it has decided to stop dealing with the company for the period of 3 years on the ground that company had allegedly submitted the forged material dispatch clearance certificate relating to 20 transformers supplied by the company under the ongoing contract for supply of 29 transformers and 1 reactor to JETCO. As per the purchase policy of the parent company of JETCO, that is GUVNL, Gujarat Urja Vikas Nigam Limited, if stop bill order is issued to any supplier, same will be applicable to new business opportunities or where the tender is not awarded. This is all from the date of the issue of the notice. Purchase policy of GUVNL clearly mentions that it does not have any impact on existing contract or contract which is awarded to supplier and delivery has started under the same, nor it will have any impact on outstanding receivables. In case of the company payment has been delayed because the transformers that are said to be supplied under the wrong documents are to be retested. The retest of 8 transformers has been done successfully and the same has been dispatched under the fresh delivery instructions given by the JETCO. The balance transformers are already commissioned and are in operation in good condition. The company expects that payment process to start by end of August 2023 or early September 2023. Company is representing in its case to JETCO management to reconsider this stop deal order and revoke the same. Management is hopeful to get it revoked in future. Currently, the company has orders on hand to the tune of 2,149 crore as on 31st July 2023, of which the company has received new orders of rupees 377 crores during the quarter. Currently, power transformers contribute 58% of the revenue, followed by auxiliary transformers 16%, distribution transformers 14%, shunt reactors 7%, and furnace transformers 5%. Going forward, I am very optimistic with the growth potential in this segment globally. The demand of transformer has increased manifold. Major buyers such as Europe, USA are in short supply by 2 to 3 years. Big opportunity is coming in Ukraine for Indian companies like STREEL, who has the potential of meeting immediate demand of the supply of the country. For transmitting energy from solar parks to the grid, higher rated power transformers are required where STREEL has the necessary facility and capabilities in place. The expansion of hydrogen energy capacity in the world brings huge opportunity for STREEL, as it is one of the few companies who has the expertise to manufacture transformers suitable for producing hydrogen. Transformers for green energy are the next generation product of STREEL. In the Indian market, we are optimistic of the growth potential due to increase in demand on account of uptick in the capex cycle and government policies. We see a lot of demand coming in from railways with higher rollout of fast speed train metros. STREEL is in advantageous position to contribute to the demand. We have been approved by the railways to supply them all kind of transformers recently. With this, I conclude my remarks, and now I would like to hand over the call to the moderator to open the floor for questions and answers.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We'll take our first question from the line of Abhineet Anand from Emkay Global. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So first I want to understand, the reason for the decline in revenue. There are 4 reasons being outlined in the PPT as well. One being that there has been deliberately slowed down by the company, where payment delays were there. So if you can just break up these 4 items that are there, a very broad number that maybe 50 crores or 30 crores was due to this, and some amount of because of JETCO related, some because of invoicing. That will help us understand, because the fall is very high, right? 48% is a big number. So if you can just highlight that, sir.
I mean, it will be taken by Abhishek. He will answer your question, your query.
So, firstly, we mentioned that, there has been built up in the inventory. So, if we, give some clarification on that, there were orders of TH Transco, wherein, DI was not received, which was pending for the inspection was completed, but DI was not received. Besides that, it was from Oil India, when we got the DI during the second week of the July. It was delayed by them because there was some issues at their side, which later got rectified. So the total quantum is somewhere around 50 crores. Besides that, there were other small customers wherein DI received in the July, that was around 20 crores. Now, the major instance is due to the delay in receipt of funds from GetCo, which we haven't received anything during the quarter 4. So, the amount what we expected, if we consider around 100 crores, it could have enabled us to, build further revenue of around 150 crores. Because this has, reduced my capacity to procure the material from the market and convert it into the finished goods. Besides that, we manufactured around 3,000 MVA transformers during the quarter, whereas the sales was around 2019 MVA. 3,600 MVA manufacturing.
3,600 was the manufacturing, and the sales was how much you said?
2019.
And this delay that you talked about, deliberate delay by the company because of delayed payment, how much that could have been?
That would have been around 25 to 30 crores.
So basically, this is, if I understand correctly, the large issue is from because you haven't received money from GetCo. So, working capital related stuff, money that is required, that is where the delay would have happened, right?
Yes, sir.
So going in this quarter, we're like in one, now we are in 2Q, right?
Yeah.
And 1 month has passed. So what is the status now in terms of our availability of fund to procure our RM and supply?
So compared to the Q1, the situation has improved a bit, and we see that it will be comparatively better, and we will be showing some good growth. I won't be able to give any, certain ratio as to what the improvement will be, but you will see a definite growth in the Q2.
No, so this growth is over last year, you're saying, or from 1Q of this year, you're saying?
From last year as well.
2Q of FY23?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And second is in the P&L, good to see that the, RM cost is around 70%, right, in this quarter. So earlier, I think for F23, this number was somewhere on 78 to 80%.
Yeah.
So what type of RM for the year or the present contracts that we have in hand, what type of RM one should factor in?
It should be between 70 to 75% range.
Abhinit, one point I wanted to clarify here. See, because of the GetCo payment, we manufactured 3,600 MVA. And only 2019 MVA were built. So now, to 3,600 MVA, what was it last year in the first quarter? Any idea?
It was around 4,200 if I'm not wrong.
Last year, how many MVA was there in the first quarter?
5,100.
So for last first,
this was produced and this was sold.
This was
Produced?
This was in 2018.
Oh, okay. So last year we produced something like 5,100 MVA.
And sold 5,000.
And sold 5,465 because of some pending invoices because the goods were not received by the client. But against 3,600 MVA, against 5,000 MVA, we have done 3,600 MVA this year. So the billing is only 2,090. So 1,600 MVA billing was yet to be made. If you just see that, and this will come in this year, this quarter.
Yes, it has been recognized as revenue up till date.
Okay. And last one from me, inflows, you talked about 377. This is in 1Q, right?
Yeah.
And any further inflows during 2Q that we have received, sir?
Yes, sir. There is a substantial inflow. You might have seen the information we have published on the exchanges that we have received one of the bigger order from the power grid. That was amounting around 145 crores. This is just a single order. Besides that also, there are certain orders we have received.
Small orders.
So 2Q we would have received 150 to 200 crore already, right?
More than 250 crores, sir.
Okay. Thanks. That was my question. I will come back in the queue.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Ajay Sharma from Maybank. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. So I'm wondering basically, just because you cannot receive this amount from JETCO, I mean, why should it constrain your capability to manufacture? Can't you borrow and do it? Or because this payment may or may not come, right? I mean, how are you going to resolve this?
Payment is to come. It is a matter of time. We'll start because what has happened is, because of their suspicion that the transformer is not of good quality, they asked us to retest the transformer again, and we retested, and we have found they found the transformers which were retested, 8 of them out of 20, they were found to be exactly as per the test certificates which were given to them earlier. There was no difference in it. And there is one more condition, that whatever transformers are going to be retested, they will be considered as received only when they receive this transformer once again. So that has maybe, that may delay the payment. But the payment of something like 67, 68 crores of the other orders are expected by the end of this month. Because stop deal, as explained to you earlier, does not say it's a clear-cut mention there that the running orders has to be executed, and so when the order is to be executed, the payment is to be received. So there is no question of the payment not getting received in a short time.
Okay, so out of the 8 which you already tested, I mean, when are you supposed to receive payment for that?
See, that is, we have to just check, when those transformers have reached the site, because they have left the factory long time back. So each individual transformer, when it reaches the site, 30 days after that is the payment. Is it right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
So 30 days from the date of receipt of the material at site, the payment will be released in 30 days.
Besides that, you also asked that, wasn't it possible to increase the borrowing and increase the revenue? So just to clarify that, sir, we have been, having the working capital arrangement for the fund base around 178 crores. Since we had done, achieved the turnover of around 700 crores, and it is at the same level we have achieved the turnover during last year of 1358 crores. But we do have certain unsecured purchase bill discounting limits that we have utilized during the quarter.
What is his name? Ajay. Yeah, Ajay, this is Chanchal with you. Coming back to your second question is about can't we borrow the funds? We are already working on the bridge financing arrangements, so that whatever gap we have come up in Q1, we can recover in Q2. As you know that the financing and bridge financing always takes time, and the effect of that you will see in the Q2 results as well as in Q3 results.
Okay, so I think earlier you were looking at least minimum 1,500 crore turnover for this year. So are we comfortable achieving that number?
As of now, we cannot comment on this. That discussion we can address by the end of Q3. But yes, we are considerably, we will recover quite well and much above than the last year figures.
Okay, Right. And Jetco as a customer, like what percent of your revenue typically comes from them actually? Suppose they don't reinstate you, how much of the business actually gets impacted?
In present order book of 2,150 crore rupees, Jetco has only 92 crore rupees order in. So it is less than 5%.
And post, you haven't received any queries after this incident from other customers, or have you?
No, not at all. We have got the order of 150 crore rupees from the power grid.
Right. Okay. Right, because, I'm just wondering, considering all other companies have reported very strong Q1 numbers, and one incident can impact your capability so much. It's a bit worrying actually that, I think it's...
Ajay, it is not the one incident basically. Look, in any organization when the working capital to the extent of 140 crore rupees, 150 crore rupees got stuck, the impacts will always be there on that. And as we said that deliberately around 40-50 crore rupees of orders, we have not dispatched because we wanted to bring some kind of the discipline in our customers regarding the payments. So this is basically the correction exercise we have started taking from this year so that we can reduce our working capital cycle. So some point of the time we may have to take little bit of hit on the top line side, but ultimately I need to strengthen my working capital cycle, and that is what we are trying to do in that way. The positive impact of these you will see in Q2 as well as more in second half of the year.
Okay.
So I am just addressing your concern only that if the one customer's payment has got affected, so it should not get effect on my working capital cycle. That is the reason we are taking these steps so that this situation doesn't arise in the future. And these impacts you will more see in the second half of the year. And I can assure you second half will be the year to remember.
Okay, we certainly hope so. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, please press star and 1 on your phone now. We'll take our next question from the line of Gunjan Kabra from Niveshaay. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. So firstly, I wanted to understand the total order book that we have of around, 2,100. How much execution do you expect to happen in this year? Basically, how much time also do you take to execute if they are the larger transformers, and how much time do you also take to execute those orders for the current financial year? How much time will you take?
Gunjan, we expect that out of 2,100 order book we have, around 1,400 to 1,500 crore rupees will be able to execute in this year. And let me tell you that we are one of the fastest delivery company. So it doesn't take much time to produce a transformer. Our capacities are so high that we can make a transformer in less than 2 months' time. So it won't that much of things that one transformer will take 6 months, 7 months. So that we are quite hopeful that we will be able to achieving almost 60 to 70% of the order book.
Okay. I also wanted to understand from margin perspective that firstly from the Jetco case, will there be any additional expenses happening in this quarter or this year due to this Jetco case? And secondly, what kind of EBITDA margins do you expect to operate this year? Wanted to understand how margins actually differentiate from small transformers versus large transformers, because margin profile has been quite robust for other companies over this very good cycle of transformer companies. So what wanted to know if order execution picks up this year, then what kind of margins can Trill do?
The distribution transformer per se will not have a bigger margin. Because that market is quite competitive, but only advantage there is that your cash flow, when you manufacture these transformers, they are mainly from the private customers. There is an advance, and then the receivable is against the dispatches. So it improves the cash flow, though the margins may not be that good. Like, we are almost doing at something like 80% or 0.8% material to sales ratio in the distribution transformer as against 0.7 in the power transformers. And it cannot have any impact. The JETCO case cannot have any impact on the margins or anything.
So what kind of margins can we expect in EBITDA on operating fronts for this year?
See, it will be double figure plus, no doubt about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, are the prices of CRGO steel coil increasing, or is it stabilized?
So CRGO is reducing. The prices of the CRGO is now reduced quite a bit. Copper prices are very fluctuating, but there is a regular supply of CRGO, which has also made the price competitive now. Earlier, there was a concern for the manufacturing capacity of the individual companies because everybody was focused on supplying to the electrical vehicles, because the steel required for electrical vehicle is easier to manufacture than the grain-oriented steel. So, most of the mills who never had the capacity, they focus more on the electrical steel for the electrical vehicles. But now, everybody has put up the capacity, separate capacity for the steel required by the electrical vehicle, and now CRGO is available easily, and which has also reduced the price, Gunjan.
Okay. So the raw material prices are now favorable, so there is no problem for the commodity side.
Except the oil. Oil has gone up a bit.
Except the oil. Yeah. Okay. Sir, also, like you guided in the previous questions that invoicing has not happened. So, the 100 crores from maybe JETCO and the 50-70 crores more from the other players because of their delay from their side and from whatever reasons were there. So now this invoicing will happen in this quarter, or it will take some more time and shift on to other quarters, or how will it pan out? And for the other customers, is it now on track? So how is that going?
Gunjan, JETCO, we have started, the supply has started for JETCO for the 94 crore pending order. The supply has already started. I think we have already billed something like 25 crores of transformers this quarter. Beside that, the invoices which were not done in case of Telangana and Andhra will happen now, because we have started receiving the DI from them this month onwards. Yeah. So that will all be dispatched in this month. Whatever are pending or the manufactured transformers will be dispatched this month itself, or they have already been dispatched.
Okay. Also, sir, how much is the revenue coming from renewable segment in our total portfolio?
How much? About
it would be 5%.
5% from renewable side. Okay. And
once the hydrogen will be, the demand from the hydrogen sector will be coming, it will go up to 20-25%.
Okay. And so what is the peak revenue that we can do from the current existing facility? How much peak revenue can we do before we need to expand or something?
Gunjan, the peak revenue when you are talking about at today's price level.
Correct.
I'm talking about today's raw material price and today's material to sales ratio. It can be anywhere between 2,300 to 2,600 crores, depending on the size of the transformers. Yes.
Okay. And sir, like there are some transformers which you also mentioned in the beginning of around 770 kV and 1200 kV. So wanted to understand how much revenue comes from those bigger transformers for us at Trill.
Gunjan, 1200 kV was the transformer which we supplied to power grid. It was on the trial for the trial purpose, and we have not invoiced that as yet. So that and they are not very sure whether they are going to continue with their project of 1150 kV transmission lines or not. They are not very sure of it. But as far as 765 kV transformers, out of the present order of power grid, I think 30%, 35% is 35% is of 765 kV, and rest is all 400 kV. So it is 765 kV and 400 kV from power grid. I don't think there is 220 kV. It's only 400 kV and 765 kV.
Okay. Okay, sir, I'll get back in the queue for further questions. Thank you so much and good luck to you and the team.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gunjan.
Thank you. Participants who wish to ask a question may please press star and 1 on their phone now. We have our next question from the line of Nilesh Doshi from Green Lantern Capital LLP. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Mr. Mamtara, is there any thumb rule to understand the revenue realization for MVA? Because you talk of 3,600 to 2,000 dispatch. So for us, if you have to understand, is there any kind of thumb rule we can take?
No, because see, the distribution transformer will be something like 10 to 11 lakhs per MVA.
Okay.
A large 765 kV transformer, maybe the 4.5 to 5 lakhs per MVA. So, it all depends on the rating of the transformer, especially the MVA rating of the transformer, capacity of the transformer. So, for each rating, say for 220 kV, a 100 MVA transformer and a 500 MVA transformer, there will be a marked difference. 100 MVA transformer, they don't increase proportionately. It is because the raw material is not required in proportion to the MVA rating. So okay. You can never predict, you can predict, but for each rating we can say that for 220 kV transformers up to 100 MVA, the realization will be 5.5 lakhs. For 400 kV between up to 100 MVA, there are no 100 MVA, but there are 200 MVA and above, it will be something like again 5 lakh per MVA up to 200 MVA. But if you go to 500 MVA, it will go to 4.5 lakhs to 4.75 lakhs.
So, sir, 3,600 MVA we produce and we dispatch around 2,000. So that 1,600 MVA would have been worth what value which we could not have dispatched?
That will be, this 1,600 MVA will be something like 80 to 85 crores.
Okay. The other question is on JETCO, because I am still not able to capture what has gone wrong, like how they can just send you a letter saying we disqualify you, or of course there has to be a bilateral discussion between the supplier and the customer. So how do they operate like unilaterally without even informing you, or just send you a letter saying we stop supply? So is there no relationship or there is no communication which has been always continuous between the supplier and the customer?
Yes, there is, but there are issues and we don't want to discuss that at this stage. This is too early to discuss that in public.
Okay.
When we meet one-to-one, we can discuss, but not on this platform.
So can I assume that there was absolutely no error from our side except for maybe some wrong paper would have gone with something else? Is that can I?
As we said that it is the lapses of procedures.
Okay.
Nothing. It is lapses in procedures. That is what we have been interacting with them. That it is the lapses of procedures from our part, and then there is no fraudulent practice which has been followed by us.
Okay. So there was no error in terms of actual product which has gone out of our factory.
So they have been retested, and they found all the transformers which were retested to be matching the test certificates which were already given to them in the past. So they are the same. There is no difference between the test results now and the test results which were earlier carried out and given to them.
I see. The second question is, from the order book as well as the other companies which we have been interacting in the same competitive area, the kind of order book which they are getting is phenomenally high. Whereas in your case, we are still seeing just 300 crore kind of a run rate. So are you seeing more inquiries coming also, number one, from domestic customers, as well as what is the export potential which you have talked about, but you haven't talked yet about how much you can do exports in this year, how much more you can do next year, and what kind of qualification you have with customers or buyers internationally. Can you just spend more time and tell us in detail what exactly and where exactly you are?
Nilesh, first of all, I'll tell you about many of the utilities. Their pre-qualification requirement is that our transformers in three different countries or two different countries should be in operation of that rating for more than 2 years. That is one of the conditions, and that we are fulfilling in almost all the cases now. Mm-hmm. Now, we have participated in several tenders, overseas tenders, amounting to something like 400 to 500 crores. We are sure to get, if not more, at least 200-250 crore of business from those tenders.
Which country just to interrupt, sir, which country these are from?
See, I don't want to disclose that name of those countries now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's too early to say anything about it, and we don't want to disclose that also. Okay. Because they are all sensitive. And, right. And then the local orders are flowing regularly. As you see that our order book today is 2,150 crores. That's not small, and out of this 2,150 crore, what is the order flow, Abhishek, for this year from 1st April till today?
Almost 600 crores.
So,
further to come.
From 1st April to today, it is something like 600 crores orders which we have received. And we have participated, we are participating in another 3,600 crores orders for different utilities or, for the TBCB projects. And our success ratio is somewhere around 20 to 22%. Yeah.
So, sir, two questions again adding to this. That means you will, one is that when these kind of concentrated orders come in, like which we are also seeing with your competitors, and this has not happened for last many years. This has just begun in last 6-8 months, and the way it is coming in, it's huge. So in a scenario like this, typically we have observed that the manufacturers tend to get better margin because there is a competition though there is a competition, the demand side is huge and everybody wants it ASAP, especially on the renewable side, because the utilities on renewable, it just takes 1 year and 1.5 years to finish the project. So in that case, are you seeing the new realization which you are bidding is actually going to give you a little higher double-digit margin?
See, I mentioned this in the first question, saying that material to sales ratio is now somewhere around 0.7, 0.71, which was earlier 0.7778. So the margins have increased, and then now the new tenders which we are quoting are with MSR ratio of something like 0.67 to 0.68. So, it is improving quite a lot, and it is now comparable to the export business also. The export we do something like 0.62 to 0.65, And here now we are quoting somewhere around 0.67 to 0.68.
Okay. So, Mamtada sir, this MSR improvement is not happening because of the cost of material going down, but it is because of the realization which you are able to take higher. Is that correct?
Nilesh, see, this contradiction, material prices has nothing to do with MSR ratio, no? MSR ratio is MSR ratio. So material to sales ratio I'm talking about. So whatever is the material price, we don't bother, And when the raw material, one point I would like to clear, and you are right in a way, indirectly, that when the material cost reduces, even the higher material to sales ratio, the absolute figures will be less. When the material, so that is right. That when the material prices reduces, and even having the higher material to sales ratio, the absolute figure may not be as much as when the material were about 30-40% higher.
Right? Right. Sir, just last question. So typically these product transformers, reactors, what kind of delivery is scheduled? These are from the smallest to the nearest to the farther away. So these are what, 6 months kind of a...
No, this delivery to start after 8 months and will continue then for another 5 to 6 months, depending on the size of the transformer and the size of the project.
So the earliest is the 8 month, nothing before that. These are 8 month earliest deliveries.
See, some of them, like for the renew, when the projects are nearing completion and they were unable to place the order for some reason, those transformers will be required faster because the solar, as soon as the solar park is ready, as soon as the solar starts producing, they have to evacuate power to the grid. And there, the transformer requirement will be faster. And we have also, we are working also on reducing the throughput time of manufacturing for all this range of transformers.
So don't you think that you need to do something ASAP in terms of arranging your working capital, either through loan or through maybe preferential to promoters or through QIP, because you are kind in a gold mine and the kind of opportunity. Because I was listening to one call from an MNC company who is into HVDC and transmission. Their analysis was that today the short supply is much bigger in the transformer space.
Correct. You are right. Absolutely is right. But we are doing that. We are working on arranging for the bridge fund before we come out with a QIP at a reasonable price. Right. Yeah. So we are just looking. We are talking to few funds for the bridging loan, kind of a bridging loan, till such time that the prices of our shares increases.
Yeah, because sir, next 5-7 years appears to be a golden opportunity for our company to.
Not 5, 7, 10 years. 10 years.
That's nice. And so lastly, can you ask E&Y to get in touch with me because we would like to meet you in person?
Yeah, Krishna is here only, so Krishna will get in touch with you, Nilesh.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Nilesh.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Naitik Mohta from Sequent Investment. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. So, sir, I have a couple of questions, starting with the GETCO order. So, I believe we have supplied 25 transformers to GETCO, and out of that, they have conducted their second inspections on 8 of them. So, have we booked the revenue for these 8 transformers, or what is the kind of timeline that we see? Once they have inspected and then it has been installed at the site, how many days it needs to be operational for us to book that revenue? And secondly, what would be the timeline for the other remaining 17 transformers per se?
See, these transformers, they have already taken the delivery of this transformer using the press DI, and the rest of the transformers are in operation, so it will be difficult for them to stop the supply or take the transformer off the line. So it is going to take time. Or maybe, that they may do away with the retesting of the rest of the transformers. these 8 transformers which are tested are absolutely as per the test certificates were given to them earlier. There is no difference there. So considering that, because now there is their view of that there may be some quality issues with the transformer, and that is why the company has done this. So that is set aside. Now there is no question of the quality being bad or quality not meeting the requirement or not meeting the performance parameters which were agreed upon between us and them.
So, sir, basically my question is not on the quality side of our transformers. Basically what I'm asking is, out of the 8 transformers that they have tested, have we booked revenue for that? And
sir, we have booked revenue for all the transformers. Those who have been supplied to them. These 8 transformers were, brought in, were sent by them for retesting, which has been done and sent back. But the revenue was booked at the with the prospective date.
So, sir, the 180 crores of receivables that we quote that are pending from GETCO. So
183 crores.
So those would be regarding. Exactly. So those would be regarding which transformers? If you're saying these transformers have been booked already.
25 transformers.
20.
25 you supplied.
Hello?
Yeah.
So the outstanding is considering the outstanding against this transformer supply. Besides that, there is also another order which was ongoing. So the total outstanding has been withheld by them, but now we expect that payment should get started releasing by them within this month itself.
Okay, sir. Secondly, I have a bookkeeping question regarding depreciation. So last year in Q3, we saw depreciation jump up quite some. And I believe there is the explanation from your end was that we had retrospectively booked depreciation because we were booking it in a one shift base, and now we have shifted to 3. So was that a one-time effect, because we are seeing depreciation to stay elevated even after that?
So that was the change done last year, and that is in continuity till date.
Okay. So we can expect depreciation to be in this range going forward, right?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, and I hope that this call is not just because this issue has happened and the management plans to continue holding such calls for investors going forward.
Sure.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Rishit Zaveri from Pi Square Investments. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir, I wanted to know what is the current capacity utilization at our plant?
About 60-65%.
60 to 65.
When I say 60-65% is with the present throughput time of manufacturing. But we are in the process of reducing this throughput time by at least, if not more, by 18 to 20%. So when we do this throughput time and with the funds available with us for working capital, we can say that we'll be able to increase our capacity by 18 to 20%.
Okay. And currently, how much cash are we holding in our books?
We don't normally hold the cash. We are normally on the debt side. So the utilization is somewhere around, you can say 90% range, 90 to 92% of range.
Okay, and you mentioned the bridge fund which you guys are planning to bring in, or on an average, how much amount are we expecting that, and it will be mostly used for the working capital thing?
100 crore additional.
Mr. Javeri, we are looking for somewhere around 100 to 150 crore rupees. And we are in a very, very advanced stages with the few of the funds. And the most of this money is going to use for the working capital enhancement.
Okay, mostly working capital. Also, as a promoter, do you expect to get back GETCO as a customer in the next 1 year?
Definitely, sir.
See, as I said, we are representing our case, and I'm going to request the chairman to allow me to present my case to the board when the board meeting takes place to revoke this letter. And I'm hopeful that the letter will be revoked because it seems to be one-sided.
Okay, sir. All the best for the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take our next question from the line of Vikash Kedia, an investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. Are we taking any capex at this point in time? If so, how much is that? And as you mentioned that there is some improvement on the cycle time.
So we are planning for a capex, but it will take some 3 to 4 months because we have delayed this plan looking towards the current cash flow issues. So the capex plan will cater the requirement for these industry-specific transformers, which we are anticipating that a lot of demand is coming forward in the near future.
Okay. The other question was with respect to GETCO again. 183 crores was pending, and there is 29 plus transformers plus 1 rectifier, which was a part of the order when the inspection was done, and then there is 92 crores of subsequent orders. I believe that is fair thing.
No. See, all these orders, pending orders today, which was to the tune of 230 crores. And
230. Sir, the issue that was escalated is highlighted is against the order which was worth around 230 crores, which included 29 transformers and 1 reactor, wherein supply is yet pending for around 30 odd crores. Besides that, we have another order as well for the smaller transformers, which is again into execution, but dispatches were kept on hold with respect to these issues. But now they have resumed the supplies. They have started the inspection process. So we expect that payment also is pending just for a formal approval from their management.
Both are the separate orders.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Sriram R, an investor. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. I have one question. In slide number 8, you have given that you have 160 kVA and above the distribution transformer segment. So what about, lower rated distribution transformers?
We don't make anything below 160 kVA. We are not into that segment.
Okay, and so the reason? Any particular reason?
See, these are all required by REC range. These are called REC range of transformers. Rural Electrification Corporation range of transformers. They range from 5 kVA to 160 kVA. And there are so many players in the unorganized sector that it is difficult to compete with them. And we don't want to get into that.
Okay, so basically this 5 kVA to 160 kVA is the requirement of ours, but that is not the case with industrial players. Right? The private players do not...
No, they are mainly from the unorganized sector. Most of them are from the unorganized, except for Toshiba. Rest of them, and one Sirdi Sai, they are in the organized sector. They are doing well. But besides that, they are all small players. Maybe in an area of 1,000 square meter, they are working and they are doing good. But we don't want to get into that kind of transformers at all.
But so where do these go into? Like you said REC. The other is these small industrial manufacturers, and they put their plants. I mean, they do not use the lower rated distribution transformers yet. Just want to understand what is the use case for those lower rated distribution transformers.
I didn't understand your question. Can you please repeat your question?
No, I'm trying to understand, what is the use case for this 5 to 160 kVA? You mentioned they are called REC range.
They are for the villages, Rural Electrification Corporation. They are called REC range, So these are the transformers which have been formulated or specified by the REC, Rural Electrification Corporation, as far as the technical specifications are concerned. And there are, the manufacturing is totally a different kind of a thing. You manufacture like 300, 400 transformers in a day. We are never in that range of transformers, and we are even, we can't go for that kind of manufacturing facility. It requires different. See, if you want to get into that, you need to have a different kind of mindset and different kind of facility. Our facility will not work there. It is like a conveyor belt, people who manufacture this many transformers in the organized sector, they are just like on a conveyor belt, like a car manufacturing. So, and then we don't want to get into that. It's very different for us.
So the private players, let's say cement or steel, so they do not use 5 to 160 kV, is it? The private players, when they put plants, they do not use 5 to 160 kV?
No. So these are for rural, like, agriculture.
No, only for rural. Okay.
Agricultural purposes and all that, not for anything else.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Praful, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, I would like to understand in the current order book, how much % of it is domestic and how much of it is in export, and how do you expect the split after 1 year, after this financial year?
Sir, the domestic is around 95% and export is around 5% as of now. Going forward, we understand that export will increase up to 15, will be in the range of 15 to 20%.
Okay. And on the domestic, on the export side, what kind of transformers orders you are seeing, like power transformers or distribution?
See, there will be mainly the power transformers and the industrial transformers, like furnace transformers for electrical furnaces, what we call electric arc furnace, and also for the rectifiers, which are used for electrolysis processes like metal refining, etc., and making some kind of chemicals also where electrolysis process is required. So they are called rectifier transformers. Rectifier transformers and arc furnace transformers and